Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANS Gear. We've got a Push Unite goggle in front of us with the brand new gradient lenses that are available for the goggle system. We're just going to show you the lenses and then show you how to do a lens swap real quick. A lot of you might already know how to do it, but we don't have a video of it. So let's get a video up of it and show you how to do it, or show you the way I do it. Maybe you do it a different way, but that's up to you. You can everybody finds their own way to do it. So we have a mirrored silver one in here right now, or mirrored chrome, whatever they call it. We're going to pop that one out. So the retention system for this goggle has two kind of features to it, or two sections to it. The first thing you can see, let me try to move this goggle strap out of the way, is this gray tab right here. So we need to pop the gray tab out. This gray tab locks the system in place so that it doesn't just come undone while you're out there playing. So this is able to be done by hand, and I will do one by hand and then I'll do one with a flathead. And you can do it either way. If you do use a flathead, you need to be very careful that you don't slip and damage something in there, or scratch your lenses, or just all around, or just damage the locking system inside of there. So I do recommend using your hand. It can be hard to do with your hand though. They don't want it to come apart while you're playing, so it is a tight system inside of there. So you grab the top of the gray tab with your finger. It kind of sticks up a little bit right there. And you're going to pull it towards you, or towards this side of the opposite side of the goggle. And I kind of grab it like that. You can see my hand is grabbing it, and then I just pull it out. And now you can see that it is free, and it will just pivot back and forth because it is looped onto the back strap. It's looped around inside of there. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll pull it off. I guess we'll just pull this one off, and then I'll show you how with the flathead on the other side. So now that we've got the retainer tab unclipped right there, the whole system, which you can see is kind of like a half circle right here, we need to slide this forward towards the lens. Now you can grab the retainer tab like this and try to grab a hold of it and slide it forward. I personally like to get my finger behind the whole thing. I've got my index finger behind the rubber ear right here, behind the gray retainer tab, and then I grab a hold of the other side with my hand and I push this thing forward. So I'm going to try to do this. Normally I would push it up against my body to get some support on it, so I'm going to try to do it right here so that you guys can see it. Maybe I'm not going to be able to do it that way. And see, now it has almost come off. It's unlooped or unhooked on the top. And I'm going to unhook the bottom of it. So that's what that tab looks like right there. And once we get both sides out, I'll show you how it actually clips into the goggle system inside of there. We're going to do the other side now. So if you're going to use a flathead, you're going to put the flathead on the opposite side of the gray piece, like so, and then you're just gonna wiggle it down in. You can see I'm pulling the top of the tab away, but what's happening at the same time, and you have to be careful, is the bottom of the flathead is then rubbing against the plastic, the other piece of the retainer tab. So it's rubbing against this, because basically what I'm doing is sliding this down in here like this and pivoting it out, so it's grinding against this part down here. So you need to be very careful that you're not damaging anything inside of there. So I'm going to slide that back in, kind of wiggle it down in there, and then I can pop that retainer out like that. Either way you want to do it, you need to just be a little bit more careful if you're going to use a flathead that you're not damaging anything else inside of there. Let's see if I can get that. And again, the first couple times you do this, you're going to feel like you're struggling and that it's not working, but trust me, it is. Once you get both tabs off, you're going to push this piece and this piece, which are these two tabs right here on the lens itself. You're going to push them out. See that pushes out there, that pushes out there, and that's going to let the goggle come out. Now, if you just try to push the goggle forward like this, it doesn't always come off. What I do is I loosen it up, and then I try to rotate the bottom of the goggle out. So I kind of do like a whoop kind of thing this way. There is a groove right along here that locks into the bottom of the lens. And if you just try to like yank this thing up and out, it'll just hold it and it won't let it go. So you either want to come straight out or kind of rotate that bottom piece down so it unhinges here. All right, so we got that off of there. Here's our new gradients. We've got the HD gradient right there, the high def to smoke, the clear gradient, so clear lens to smoke, and then the yellow gradient, which is the yellow, or I don't know if they call it amber. They just call it yellow, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it yellow. Might be listed as something else, but I'm pretty sure it's yellow. We're talking about how the tab system works in there. So here is our goggle tab, our two pieces like this, and here's our lens. So the way this works is it snaps in, and then when you pull this back, this little piece right here, this little nub that sticks out, locks in. It slides underneath the tab and locks it in place. So when you go to install this, you want to make sure that you put it over the post and then pull it back so that it locks in place. And there's a little hole in there, and it'll just kind of boop, drop in just like that. And then this tab comes over and locks in and keeps this from being able to unhook itself or slide out. All right, so let's put in the yellow one. So we're gonna work from this side again, and we're gonna make sure that the bottom goes in, and then we wanna look along the top to make sure that the top piece, right along the top of the lens here, fits into the slotting too. So there's slots on the bottom, slots on the top. Make sure that fits in all around there. It is possible to put this together and actually snap the tabs in with this part of the frame. Let me see if I can show you what it looks like. Being up too high, it'll actually sit up like this when you go to snap it together. It won't be down on the lens like that, it'll be up like that. So just make sure that when we go and push our two tabs in from the side, or not our tabs, our little, I don't know what the hell those things are called. I'm gonna call it a little turret or a little nub. When you snap them in and push them through the side, make sure that the lens top and bottom are locked in properly. From that point there, we can get our retainer tab, and we're gonna hook it over and pull it back and snap it into place. Now this I get my hand behind it, and I'm gonna put it in like this. I'm gonna push it down into spot, and then I'm gonna pull it back, and it's snapped in place. Now with my hand behind this strap, it gives me the leverage to angle this gray tab kind of down and then snap it. If you just try to push it in, it will not snap inside of there. You have to put the nose of the tab in and then pivot the backside down. Otherwise, you'll just be pushing all day long and it'll just feel like it never goes together. So again, I get my index finger behind the strap. I use my other thumb to help push it into place, and then I pull back, snap it in, and then while I'm pulling with my finger, I angle it down and snap it in. I think the hardest part is getting those gray tabs back in sometimes. But there you go. That's the install on a brand new gradient lens from Unite, or from Push. Now we're putting in this like camo Unite goggle right here. So there's three of them. You've got the yellow gradient, the HD gradient, the clear gradient, brand new lenses, and tons of other colors available at ansgear.com.